The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Game junkie Gerard Campbell.
Talking games with Gerard Campbell at stuff.co.nz. Also, Game Junkie NZ on Twitter. G'day to you, Gerard.
G'day to you, Wammo.
Nice to, very well, thank you. Nice to have you back on the show.
I know.
Kinect, of course, has been out, a couple of weeks now in New Zealand?
Yeah, it was, top of my head, probably it was end of sort of November, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had now that couple of weeks to digest some of the games.
Yes.
You've been having a bash at Kinect Sports.
Yes, having a bash, I believe you have too, and also having a bash with the fitness one, Your Shape Fitness Evolved from Ubisoft.
Yeah. Now, I'm sore this morning. It's got to be said. I never thought a game would be able to, really push the limits physically, and actually wear you out and tire you out in a short time.
Yeah, I think that especially with like the Kinect games that I've looked at, certainly I think Kinect Sports is one of the best. I think because it works extremely well. But you're right, I've sort of played earlier, the iToy ones that we had on the PlayStation a few years ago, and they were camera based. So there was it was only sort of minor sort of interaction. But with the Kinect, certainly with Kinect Sports, you're running on the spot. You're throwing the javelin, you're throwing your hands in the air. The boxing is extremely physical as well.
Really physical.
Really physical.
I've got to say, it's my favourite game within Kinect Sports. Just because it really, you're blocking, you're punching high, you're punching low, you're trying to break down the defences, you're trying to defend, and you're not just having to do like little movements. You really are, like if you want to do a power punch, you bring the shoulder right back and then pow, really hard out, and you really feel like that opponent is kind of there in front of you.
It's very, it's a lot better than, Wii Sports when it first came out had boxing on it, and it was a very sort of rudimentary sort of box. You could sort of do sort of bits and jabs and stuff. But you're right, with the Kinect, it's a lot more physical. And I think I was the same with you. After a few sessions on doing some events, I was sweating, and your muscles feel sore afterwards, and you're getting an extremely good workout. And I think that a lot of people who are probably sceptical about how Kinect will work would probably find that with a game like Kinect Sports, which I do think of the first party titles is the pick of the lot.
Yeah.
That it's an extremely physical, collection of sports, and it's also a great party game too, for two or more people, and you actually get, we found when we were doing the athletics, but you actually get very competitive with it. You want to win, and I think a lot of people are surprised actually how physical it is, and I think that that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had a couple of people around on Saturday evening, and there were 4 of us in total, and we took rounds beating the crap out of each other on the boxing, and it was really fun. It's fun in the same way that Guitar Hero or Rock Band is really fun.
Yeah, and I think that I think that there are actually going to be a lot of hardcore gamers out who originally poo-pooed Kinect, saying, it's only kiddie games. I think they're actually going, if they had a go at Kinect Sports, they're actually going to think, there's actually something here. There's actually something that is going to appeal to everybody, not just the hardcore.
Yeah.
And, of course, the other one that I've looked at, and you've also looked at too, is the Your Shape.
Yeah, getting fit. Getting fit in front of a computer game console. Who would have thought? Who
would have thought? And, I think that the interesting thing with the Your Shape one is that, A, it works extremely well, but B, the whole full body scan that it does, to sort of determine, I was amazed at when it did the full body scan, it determines, shoulder, your height and your shoulder width and your length from your shoulder to your whatever. It does the whole thing, and so it actually is a really good representation of your body. So,
did you have a Tron moment when it does that full body scan and basically scans you into the game, so it understands what you look like and everything? I thought I was just about to be sucked into the network.
Sucked into the machine.
That was it.
Can't get out. And then suddenly you're tapping on the glass of the TV. Let me out, let me out.
And it's beyond Kinect Sports, it feels like it's even more technologically advanced in its ability to scan the real world in a 3D kind of way and represent your body on the screen. Yeah,
because I think they're both very different. Because the Kinect Sports is still very cartoony, very almost very Wii Sporty in its approach. But the Your Fitness is really showed me how high tech the Kinect is. What it is actually capable of, and it does make you think that what can it do in the future. What sort of interaction. If you can get full body scanning and once we get the voice commands in and that sort of thing, and what is it actually capable of?
Yeah, and the fact that it can be a serious tool, because I think the Your Shape is a serious training tool. It's not a gimmick, and it's very accurate. I did that. When you initially log in, you want to do the training and the sort of the tutorial, and also to work out what your basic fitness level is. And particularly with some of the toning exercises where you're sort of doing a stretch, it will determine whether or not you're going a little bit too low, your arm position, are you getting it just right, are you in rhythm with the instructor on the screen. Very, very accurate.
Yes, it is, because of course, you have to keep within that, that sort of field of view box that you have to stay in, sort of connected with the trainer. But, it can judge whether your arms are going up high enough, or whether you're squatting low enough, or whatever. So the precision is really there. So this is a first generation Kinect Sports fitness title.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can ever replace getting outdoors or gym work or whatever completely with something like this. But I think something like Kinect is really good. The fact that if the weather's rubbish or you've only got a bit of time, you can actually, because I think that the exercise programs seem to be sort of 2 repetitions of 10 exercises or whatever. So they were short blocks. So they're short enough that you could sort of.
But you could set up whole routines.
Yes, you could.
And then you could also move on to, say, the wind down, do a bit of yoga, do a bit of Zen kind of chill out stuff as well.
Could. Yeah, you definitely could.
And the one thing I did notice that is kind of cool. I mean, it may not be for everyone, because maybe if you. The console was for the kids, but maybe you want to get Your Shape for yourself. There is still a gaming element in there, isn't there? Like there's the challenge to burn enough calories, and then you get achievements for burning calories, and also when you're doing the exercises, it'll determine how correct you've done them. So whether or not you've done 75% to 80 or 100%.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because that was the thing that if you got all the elements of the exercise, you got 98% or 100%. But if you during the exercise you got out of time, or you did something incorrectly, you'd break that sort of virtual line between you and the trainer, and then you might only get 75%. So there's a lot of incentive for you to actually really look at what's going on and continue. But I think that some of the first party games for the Kinect are pretty average. Things like Kinect Joyride.
Which is just holding your hands out in front of you as a steering wheel. Yeah.
There's no skill involved at all.
I had a wee bash with Kinectimals.
Oh, yes.
Which is the game, I suppose, that's aimed at sort of around 5-year-olds, I suppose. I was entertained though. I don't know what that says about me, but it was very cute, very adorable, and I could imagine, as a kid getting in front of this and being drawn into this island world and hanging out with the animals, throwing the ball, playing catch. It seemed really fun.
It's very, I think that's another very well done. The virtual pets, the cats and that sort of thing. And there is that virtual interaction that they're sort of here. They're responding to your actions. So I think it's an exciting form of technology that it's got a lot of promise. I think a lot of promise.
Cool. Well, that's a short wee roundup of Kinect, and I think we both agree that it's a very, very good start with some of the titles that are coming out. And of course, may make a bit of a stocking stuffer. I know I've had a lot of questions on Twitter from people about it, saying, "Hey, would this be good for 5-year-old, 8-year-old?" And absolutely. I think the good thing with the Kinect is that it is trying to get the family involved too. So there's going to be a lot of titles coming through, especially from Microsoft, that are going to be like Kinectimals and Kinect Sports, that are going to be
aimed at family participation, which is, I think is really good.
Very good. All right, Gerard, we'll see you on stuff.co.nz on the Game Junkie blog there, and also on Twitter as well, twitter.com/Game Junkie.
Indeed, keep fit, Wammo.
Yeah, we can certainly try once my muscles stop aching. All righty.